Hey trackies, welcome back to another video on TXT Track Time. It's the outdoor season and we're so excited to tackle the week that was. But before we get into it, trackies, please remember to like up the video. Come on, get us to 500 likes on each video, at least, trackies. Come on, you know you can do it. And also, trackies, we are begging a favor. Head on over to our little sister-in-law's, her little page on YouTube and give her a subscribe as well. And let her know that we sent you by clicking on a video, watching it, and of course, leaving a comment in the comment section. Now, with that said, whole heap of things gone over the weekend, and we have enough things to chat about. And I'm just gonna throw over to Tom. Tom, what are we on this evening?
Well, I want to lead things off by talking about Elaine Thompson-Herah and her 400-meter season opener. And basically, is is Elaine done? Like, is she finished for, done for, or was this just a coaching strategy with how she finished the race, running 1 minute, 1.0088, I believe it was, and that is how she finished the race. Now, I don't know, T. I want to hear from you first. I know you said like you want to hear from me, and I know what I want to say, but I really want to hear your perspective. What did you think about Elaine's performance? Because I know you like to be super technical, and you're going to find like a rainbow behind the
Uh,
clouds. So out with the rainbow, T. What did you think?
okay. So is all right. I'll be lying if I said I'm not worried about Elaine. Everybody knows on this channel on TXT Track Time. Once you watch us, you know we love Elaine over here. So if you love Elaine and you want Elaine to, do well, then you are gonna be a little bit concerned. So what I thought about the race over the weekend, um, and bear in mind, trackies, I'm keeping what happened last year in my brain in terms of her 400-meter season opener, plus what she said after, as well as looking at this race. So when she ran off, my first thought was, isn't this a little bit too fast? Because I remember her saying last season that, if she had, measured her race properly, she thought she could have, broken her personal best over the 400 meters. So, coming into this race, my thought process is, I'm going to see a more measured race from her to see if she can, break that personal best. So, she zooms up to 300 meters, 250, 300, and then literally like she comes to a standstill, and then I'm like, what is happening, right? And then at one point I actually thought she stopped because based on the camera angle I couldn't really see her, right? But then I saw her finish the race later on. So my first thought was, what went wrong? What's going on? Because that's my thing. Track is, y'all know I'm passionate about track. So my first thought is, what is happening? But then I'm starting to think, and I'm like, there's no way Elaine is going to make the same mistake she made last season over that same opening race, knowing what she said she wanted. Right. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe the plan was, because if you all go back and watch the race, it wasn't like she gradually slowed into that 300. It was like just an immediate like boop kind of thing, and I thought that was a little strange for me. So my thought was, maybe the plan was to do a fast 300. you know Maybe that was the plan, because to how fast she went off, my first thought was just seeing her, there's no way you're going to carry this home the same way kind of thing. So my thought was, okay, this is the plan. We're running a solid 300 to open. But then no, I saw her on her social media saying, not even key couldn't unlock her. Like, when Lactic texts you and you just tie up. So not even key couldn't unlock her. So I'm there saying, then hold on. Then if the plan was to run a solid 400, and we tie up to this degree, I start to have other thoughts in my brain. Now my first thought was, is she not up to scratch in terms of her conditioning to be able to successfully complete a 100 meters? Is this why she tied up? Then it dawned on me in that moment that I actually don't know the answer to that question. Like, is it a case where you only tie up when, or have this kind of lactic situation when your conditioning is not up to scratch, your background training? Or is it a case where any athlete at any point in time can just, tie up and, it is what it is, and it just happens every now and again, and you can't really hold anything of it. So my thought is, I don't really know at this particular point, which makes me as an Elaine supporter, concerned, going forward, because part of me is like, there's no way Elaine is saying she tied up in when that 300 looked the way it looked, because that was a little too fast in my opinion, right, for 300. But then her comment after that is kind of throwing me off, so I'm kind of wondering if she's throwing us off a little. And as you said, part of me is also thinking to myself, am I trying to find a rainbow in every situation? That's really what it seems like. No, I feel like I'm trying to find the silver lining in every way possible. And I don't want to be doing that. But genuinely, though, I am concerned because I just don't know what is happening. And I'm just praying that, everything is going according to their plan to get her back on track as being, the Elaine that we've known to come and love, running 10.54 over 100 meters and 21.53 over 200 meters. So that's my whole thing right now.
Well, I'm kind of happy I made you speak first because I did not see her social media comment, but what that social media comment that you just stated is more in line with what I was thinking. We all know that Elaine is world class in the 200. That being said, I would assume that she's able to hold on for at least 300 meters. And that's exactly what I think happened. I believe, I don't know if you mentioned what the racing strategy was, but I actually believe there was none. So Elaine, to me, went out and she just ran with all of her might. And we know she can run 200 meters very well. And that first 200, if there is a rainbow to be found, is that she covered the field, I would say, in 50 meters less.
She
Was
looks faster
way
than
ahead of
she did.
Everybody. So
She looked faster than she did last season. Over
exactly.
that first,
So
yes, I was like shocked.
when we take the first part of the race, the first 200, Elaine looks very, very, very good. And remember, Elaine is not any 400-meter athlete of note.
No, we're not
So we're not
expecting
expecting
anything
to see
crazy.
her run the 52 that we saw Sherika do the week before.
Yeah.
But tying into what we said about Sherika's game plan to break the 200-meter world record, is Elaine there? No. And it is not because she wasn't able to finish the 400-meter race for me. I believe it's because
she finished, but she didn't finish as strongly.
Finished strongly. I believe it's because she didn't have any game plan. I didn't see any strategy. I didn't see any game plan. My take is that I expect more. I expect to see some type of strategy. I expect to see her coaches telling her that this is what you need to go out here and do. Because when she came to that same sudden halt that you're speaking of, I knew that was not no coaching strategy. Because when you're running, if she was running and then running the first 300, as I said, maybe that is what she was doing, it wouldn't have just been dead like that. She literally died right away. So that told me there was no intention to go out and run the first 300. And then when you get to the 300, you jog your way in. She barely, I don't know how. I think it is like my son, he likes to say sheer determination. I believe it is sheer willpower, determination brought her across that finish line because she was totally finished. And then why even run that hard then? I remember, you her legs.
Which is why I don't. Which is why I'm saying I don't agree with you. Which is
just to wrap up, her legs are an investment. So just to wrap up, so there are two takes. One, I think she looked very good in the first part of the race. So that tells me that at least we know she's training and she's putting in some work. The second thing is, I still believe that the coaching is lacking because there was no clear direction in that race other than to go out and see what I could do. And for me, there's needed to be something more strategic than just that. So that's where I am with that.
Well, okay, Chucky. So as you can hear, Tam and I gathered different things from her sudden halt in that first 300 of the race, carrying over to the rest of the 400 meters.
I'm with Elaine.
So it's up to you to tell us what you all think in the comment section below. Do you agree with Tam
and
or
Elaine?
Do you agree with do you what?
Tam and Elaine.
What do you mean, Tom and Elaine?
That she just died because she ran too
Oh
hard.
yes, because that's what she said in her. Listen, I refuse to. I'm sorry, I refuse to believe that Elaine stepped on that track without any coaching direction. I don't believe that.
There was,
So
but it's not as for example, when Stephen Francis, just to say, I don't know what he does, but I'm just imagining he scares the life out of those athletes, and then there's going to be hell to pay if they don't execute exactly like how he said. So, for instance, before the race, he says, "This is your race plan. Go out here and do this, this, and that. And if you go off course, then there's hell to pay." So I'm saying maybe there was some type of strategy, but it's not something that when the athletes know that they need to do it, they need to stick to it. So it is more laissez-faire, loosey-goosey.
no. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It's just that I refuse. My man refuses to accept it. Let's just put it that way.
Oh
Anyway,
God.
Chucky, it's up to you. As you can see, it's split down the middle right now. Tell us your thoughts in the comment section. What did you gather from the 400-meter race from Elaine? Great first 300, but what happened in that last 100? Was it part of the plan or was it just all up in the air? Sound off in the comment section below. As usual, I'm T.
And I'm Tam. We'll catch you in another one.